It's embargoed until 1:30 tomorrow, followed by a section from Sundays, which is embargoed until 10:30 on Saturday. So if we start with Mark Scott.
Hi, Brendan. Yeah, just going back to what I was saying earlier, what have you made of the form that they've been playing since Claudio took over at Watford? It has been a bit up and down, some highs and some lows as well.
Yeah, but that's natural. In the Premier League, he was obviously brought into a team that was down towards the bottom. So the first game, you're assessing the players, and it was a tough first game for them. So it's had some fantastic results, with Everton and Manchester United, in the last game. So yeah, but they've got some really good players, and yeah, he'll be hoping to go in there and make sure they stay in the league, and I'm sure that's the objective.
What do you think the key strengths are of a Claudio Ranieri coach side?
Well, I think with Claudio's teams, they're always organised, and yeah, he's incredibly experienced manager, coached all around the world, and yeah, but he'll also know taking a team to here will be a difficult game, but they've got good players, especially in counter attack. They've got speed in the front line. And but they'll be looking to, from what I've seen, they've been pretty direct with the speed in the game, and yeah, and look to be organised when they haven't got the ball.
And I know, just finally, I mentioned it to you earlier, but a very special occasion with Claudio coming back to the King Power after all he's done at the club. I mean, how do you think the occasion's going to be?
That'll be brilliant. No, it'll be really good to see him. And I said that story is iconic, and obviously his association with Leicester, he's now, they have a bond here now forever. So no, it'll be really good to see him. He's still obviously got great enthusiasm to manage and coach, and obviously he'll come here to try and get the result. But yeah, I think the supporters, obviously will always be eternally thankful for him and everything that he did for that season.
Thank you, Brendan.
Pleasure, Mark.
Okay, James Nursey.
Hi, Brendan.
Jim.
In terms of assessing Claudio's legacy here, do you feel that perhaps the winning mentality and the fact that some of the guys won silverware, Casper, Jamie, and then obviously went on to win silverware with you as well, was that helpful, do you feel?
Yes, the sound's pretty bad on that. I don't know if someone nearby you has got their was unmuted. I don't know if you can try and repeat that.
I'll try again now. Is that any better?
That's better, yeah.
I was just talking about, asking about, please, Claudio's legacy and how you assess it. For example, some of the players like Schmeichel, Jamie Vardy, they've won the title with him, haven't they? And they've still been part of your squad and gone on and won the FA Cup and things like that. Was that silverware helpful to you, those winning experiences? Thank you.
I think any winning experience will have helped the players, of course. I think that experience in isolation was incredible, really. I don't think anyone expected Leicester City to win the league, and his legacy, as well as winning the Premier League, will be the feeling, the feeling that team gave supporters, not just Leicester City supporters, but supporters around the world. It gave hope to people that that anything's possible, and so yeah, and to see him win, I think his first title as a manager was special as well. So no, it was a really brilliant job that he did, and along with the players who were exceptional and played, with a real high level right the way through that season to win the title. And yeah, he'll always be held in the highest regard here.
Could I just ask one supplementary as well, which would be, you obviously enjoyed the atmosphere a lot tonight and felt it really helped your team. Can you experience the feel-good factor from Claudio coming back, if you like, raising the fans' volume again, perhaps the weekend? Can that be helpful, do you think? Thanks.
Yeah, I think the supporters will show their appreciation accordingly to Claudio, absolutely. And then once the game begins, then they'll be right behind the team and ready to push the team. And I think that's what we got this evening. And that was my point about the weekend. We need, for us to succeed, and for my time here, the supporters have been brilliant, and away from home, amazing. And when they get behind the team, it's a really strong force, and it gives us that that extra push and extra energy that we need. And that was the only point I was making. And I think you see with Chelsea's result as well against Juventus, the level that they are at. You know, they're one of the top 3 teams in world football at the moment. And so that was my only comment on that. But you see it tonight from the first whistle. You sense the crowd were behind the team. They were that synergy between them and the players was amazing, and that really gave us that extra push. And that's what this Leicester City is about. You know, the king power and making it a real fortress for any team to come.
Thank you.
Okay, Graham.
Hi, Brendan. Looking back at what Leicester did in 2016 under Claudio, is that the reason now that Leicester can realistically expect European football on an annual basis? Because before that, European football wasn't really a consideration.
No, I don't say it's just necessarily that. I think what that gave was the hope that it can be done and that it is possible to do it. That's for sure. Obviously, then afterwards, there was no European football. So, but I think that gave belief, not just to Leicester City, I think to every club, that it is possible to do it. And Claudio did a brilliant management job in that season. The key is to try to sustain it, which is clearly obviously very difficult for a club of this size in comparison to the others and expenditure and whatnot. So, but it certainly gives that level of, yeah, you can do it. And with good organisation and with good players and with that fighting spirit that you at least have an opportunity.
Just quickly, Brendan, what are your memories of that season? Because I think it was just about before you joined Celtic. I mean, I think probably you were able to sort of view from afar that Leicester's progress was going towards the title.
Yeah, well, a good view because I got sacked in the. I got sacked around whenever it was, October time. So yeah, we'd obviously played Leicester. As you say, after they'd won the title in 2016, and I seen all the players at Parkhead that day having won it, which was amazing. But actually during the season, just watching the story unfold, like everyone else, I was over doing some commentary abroad in the game that I felt that I think they can win it was the Man City game. I was doing commentary abroad for that, but yeah, just watching it, just watching the whole story, watching the joy it was giving people, and then seeing it through at the end. It was a really special, iconic season. Like I said, in any mode of sport, it's probably as I said, one of the greatest of there ever was.
Yeah. Thanks, Brendan. Cheers.
Thanks, Graham.
Okay, Jordan Blackwell.
Hi, Brendan.
Okay, Jordan.
You mentioned Claudio's enthusiasm for the job. Obviously, he's had a few jobs now since he was at Leicester. Do you see yourself perhaps carrying on into the age that Claudio's managing at?
What age is Claudio now?
Late 60s, early 70s, maybe.
Early 70s. Wow. I'm not sure, Jordan. It really is it's a profession that you really get hooked in, and certainly if you've been out of the game for a little period, and you have that rest and you have that, you press the reset. Once you've been in and around changing rooms for as many years as he has, and what I've been over in this, whatever it is, over 600 odd games or so, then it definitely becomes a drug for you. So I would never say never. I think my first target as a manager was to get to 1,000 games. That would then obviously show that I've been persistent and been good enough to be in my occupation for that length of time, and then we'll see where that takes me. So I'm 48 now. I have a lot of years to go. I could never promise I'd be managing at that age, but I'll certainly be involved in football. That's for sure.
And just another one, if you wouldn't mind. Yuri's such an important player for you. Has it forced you to change how you think about your team and how you prepare your team because he's not available?
Not really, Jordan. I think that we were always a collective anyway. I think that, missing someone of that quality and that precision in his pass, of course you miss that, and just his game knowledge. I think for us, it was collectively getting back to our football and our game model. And I think we did that tonight in a lot of ways. So we just need to continue in that same path. But we've got other good players, and it's an opportunity for other players to play as well. You see, like Kieran coming into the game, and he gets another exposure in European football and building up his experiences. So we're playing and playing consistently. So yeah, but there's no doubt you miss a player of that quality. But we always have to try and find the solution and try and fix it until he's back.
Thanks, Brendan. Well done tonight, and best of luck for Sunday.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, folks, we'll finish that section there.